are you building damage? This guy built the Leandries to do what? Die faster? Like, that's where you build Locket. That's where you survive. Build a Zonias, I don't care, but just survive.
Have to live through, have to get that combo out, have to provide something for the team. And we'll see how this is going to change. They get another opportunity to go through it. But the Evelynn ban remains the same here as we move into the second pick and ban phase.
And more importantly, they also ban out the Graves. So power junglers being removed here from Wisdom. And Broxah will likely pick up a jungler again in his early rotation. Well, guess which one?
Looks like Rengar did get left through. They don't want to play against the Varus, and that just means that the cat goes into the hands of Broxah. Another champion we haven't seen from him yet. Have to track how well he can do.
And this is where Tabzz should really steal the Jhin away, because it was quite influential on Rekkles, and it also sets up for a great lethality poke comp, which is still possible. Like, Rengar is not unbeatable.
No, I mean, once again, he has been toned down, and even before that, we saw teams beat him, so it can only get easier as we move into patch 7.3.
Oh. Yeah, I like that answer against stuff like Jayce and Jhin, because when Rengar, I like it a lot.
This is the classic.
I'm digging it, I'm digging it. This is turbo annihilation here from Fnatic. Backline threat with Maokai and Rengar, and then a spell shield AD carry is great. You have mobility steroid from the Sivir, and because supports, there's so many available, and Jesiz has proven that he can even pick up stuff like Braum, you don't need to prioritize them very early on.
Question becomes, what are Origen going to ban out here? How do they mitigate this comp? Because Sivir Maokai is terrifying when you move into team fights. That Maokai's finding his way into your backline, and there is nothing you can do about it.
And there won't be any tank peel because you're playing Jayce Kha'Zix already, unless you maybe go for another stop into the Maokai, but you get the inferior kind of.
Yeah, and once again, you still the Maokai still ends up there, right? Even if you find the even tank matchup, even if you have the Poppy, Twisted Advance just ignores your ability to block that dash. It's so hard to deal with this champion, and it's why so many regions have been prioritizing it highly when it comes to top lane picks.
Yeah, Fnatic right now, they're banning out carry top laners because they really don't want Maokai. They just want that simple tank matchup to get sOAZ again on that island that we've seen statistically so often.
Don't want to have to worry about the top side of the map. Last time it was bot side that came through, that started to carry Fnatic forward into the mid game. You see, no bans going there yet, but the Nami taken away from Jesiz. Interesting pick overall.
It's good disengage. It's actually good long range catch as well. If you just want to send out a tidal wave and then have Rengar and Maokai kind of pile through, it's really good peel for Sivir, and it's just a really strong laning combo. Sivir and Nami can actually challenge most lanes in terms of push because of the sustain. And then obviously when you ban on Nami and pick up Karma, you take a lot of bot lane control in your hands.
And last time it was Fnatic who banned out the easy mode champions, the simple champions with simple goals. This time Fnatic takes one away. OG do get one for themselves though, and instant lock-in on the Orianna here, as well as the Lulu. This is a big shift in what Fnatic are going for.
Fnatic are looking to be handling this push in the bot lane the best way they can, because that is the breaking point for this comp in the early game. If Karma Jhin can get too much leeway early and Kha'Zix Jayce can visit, they can lose their bot lane turret. And now with Sivir Lulu, they're pretty safe and they have a lot of wave clear. This is going to be the gragas top lane that we've seen before. It's playable into tanks. Saw it in some matchup.
And it does give the disengage option when that team does come barreling down on top of you.
Not mid. I think they're waiting for the 20 seconds. Yeah, there we go. Satorius playing the gragas top. But if you look at Fnatic's team comp, it's very cohesive. You can play 1-3-1 in the mid game, but Orianna doesn't really like being on the side lane, so it's definitely more 1-4 oriented. You have backline threat with Maokai, ultimate disruptor, but you also have a way to enable him. You can speed him up with Lulu and with Sivir ultimate, and then
with
really
Orianna,
guarantee that he gets there. Once he lands in the back wave, if he's carrying the Orianna ball, it's really easy for setup. But then even if he disappears, there is still peel in terms of spell shield, wild growth, and even Orianna's shield will give you armor and the ultimate as well. So it's not like when sOAZ dives into the backline that his backline is completely unprotected.
Interesting as well, it's too, normally when a Maokai dives in your backline, you feel comfortable to back off to peel away. But now it's not just Maokai, it's a Lulu shield, a Pix, everything backing him up.
Yeah, and then on the other side here for Origen, if you think this pick comp / poke comp is going to make it, hashtag OG win, but I wouldn't do it. Invest your hashtag in Fnatic, I think so. Hashtag FNC
Fnatic is going up right now, ladies and gentlemen.
They're on the rise.
At LOL eSports is the place.
Because this is really hard to play on the side of Origen. It's very complex to play a comp that has part poke and then part pick. So they need to find a single member kind of alone somewhere with the Gragas and the Kha'Zix and then annihilate him, or they need to poke them so low that the trampoline can happen from the Kha'Zix. But that is such a ideal scenario, and Fnatic have so many tools to combat exactly that.
All the shields. We've seen Unicorns use it. We've seen it be the key to success against these comps that want to single you out and knock you down. Well, we'll see if Origen are going to get knocked down in this series. That's some weird kind of deer. And this is Origen versus Fnatic, Game 2.
But that is exactly what Origen are saying after this draft.
That's some weird deer?
No, oh dear.
You're going to make a great dad someday, Krepo.
One day. NaeHyun has to be careful, but he's getting cornered.
Caps moving forward. Just some hearts. No summoner's going to be burned, but we'll force him back.
These guys love Thunderlords.
They really like Fnatic, man.
Yeah, Origen, not that many fans left.
Fnatic, man, you guys are hardcore. All right. Have to see where the junglers are going to start. Will kind of tell us a lot about where they want to go, where the priority will be in this early game. You brought up that the OG lane, or the OG bottom lane, was crucial here for the success.
Yeah, if they can, it was up until the Lulu pick, they were really trying to make a matchup disparity here in terms of push so they can whittle down the turret. But it's quite easy for Rekkles to spell shield a lot of this Karma poke or Jhin poke. And then I think they should be fine.
This is an interesting adaptation.
Oh, I've seen this before, actually, in the LPL as well. I think it was actually LCK, where we saw an Elise starts on Raptors and then go for Red and to the other side. It's kind of too confused because it allows your mid laner to leash, pretty much. So it's doable in matchups where you don't want to start solo buff because your bot lane wants to challenge wave and your top lane doesn't really want to sacrifice too much either, or you want to start bot side, but your bot lane can't leash, right? That's when you either need to do solo red buff or you start on Raptors slightly later, but you can leash from mid lane. So a Syndra can leash there, or a Sapling build up plus then an Orianna leash makes it very easy for Broxah to get a sustained clear. It's actually quite smart adaptation.
Good to see, but it looks like an adaptation that both teams have made. Wisdom pinging out the Raptor camp, letting his team know where he thinks the enemy jungler is, and he's right on the money. But bot lane, I think, has to continue to be our center of focus, because last time it was where everything started for Fnatic and where everything went wrong for Origen.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to play on level 2 for Rekkles, because he gets access to the spell shield, so he was like, do I poke? Do I give him more mana? One way to beat Sivir in the past was literally never poke her and push it on her turret. Or you fake poke her, the classic, where you actually try and shoot your poke next to her. Close enough that it looks like you were hitting, but far enough away that she wastes spell shield.
I don't think I'm ever going to be good enough at this game to like play those kind of mind games.
But now if you know that concept exists and you miss, you're like, I don't know. I was listening to Krepo cast.
Ah, yeah, I like that. I like that. That's like when you taught me about dirty bulking.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you ever overeat, dirty bulk.
Dirty bulking.
Wisdom, though, trying to find the first opportunity to gank. Has the strong Jayce in the mid lane, and Caps no exhaust to speak of. It's
actually the only lane he can gank, because it's so hard to gank top lane ganks. So good from NaeHyun from pulling the wave. We need to see if they can make any strides here.
Oh, NaeHyun going forward, does have the Thundering Blow, holding on to it now. Moving forward, Caps knocked back into Wisdom, is going to flash out to safety. Nice sidestep. Caps still moving forward. Makes it out in the end.
Yeah, not engaging in the right exact second. NaeHyun jumped in, wasted exhaust. Caps knew at that point that he was getting ganked. Like, this guy's not going to randomly exhaust him, right? So Caps had a moment to gather his thoughts, consider where the gank could be coming from, and then flash appropriately. NaeHyun tried to kind of turn that upside down by going for the flash knock into lane, but Caps still survived there.
Knocks him back to lane. He gets the flash right back to the tower. Caps walks away safely, and in the meantime, Rengar just continues to farm up, takes the Krugs away from the Kha'Zix. A small advantage, but a good one to have this early on. Now Broxah is looking to get a gank of his own down. Satorius, a little bit of a misposition here in lane. Maokai going to point and click his way in, knock him up.
He's fine, because the Q missed from sOAZ. So sOAZ missed an opportunity to kind of slow Satorius down early. He knows, so he walks away, pretty happy.
No flash burn either. Broxah now starting to help the wave push in. Will, or should rather, now be able to get the free back, get a couple items under his belt. Although Broxah trying to keep it frisky, flash forward. They want to keep the ball rolling. Satorius, what are you doing? First blood.
That's just, I don't know, man. I like the hubris, I like the confidence, but if you're the last place team in the league, do not upset your opponents by taunting them in the face after a failed gank and then do that, because that's going to tilt you. Satorius has to be tilting right now. Because not only did he die a stupid death, he did it right after taunting his opponent in the face.
In the Smash Bros community, that's called taunt and to get bodied.
Got bodied.
definitely not.
I think that transcends communities, though.
Taunting to get bodied is a classic. And it's really sad to see because last time it was the bottom lane that fell apart to something stupid. Now it's the top lane. The same thing, the greed, the hubris, the over-eagerness to make small advantages happen in the early game turn into much larger advantages for Fnatic. OG have to clean it up. They have to clean it up quick. The gold lead for Fnatic not too big yet. But Rengar having a kill in the early game is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah, and Rengar is not a great early game ganker. Most of his ganks really only happen at level 6. So the fact that he propelled forward in a kill now has dueling advantage even more over Kha'Zix means that it's very hard for Wisdom right now to play this game.
Additionally, Kha'Zix with the nerfs on level 6 on the isolated Q means it's already harder to play the 1v1. Rengar, yeah, the CC immunity is a big hit for his team fighting, but it's not going to hit the 1v1.
And sOAZ also kind of spiraling ahead right now.
15 CS lead, pretty massive. Broxah. Oh, he's just going to leap in.
Oh,
Wisdom challenging Smite, tries to leap to safety, maybe hoping he can flash over the wall. That is disastrous for OG.
And that's big because that means Broxah's flash will eventually be up much sooner than Wisdom, and Broxah also has that ultimate, so it's going to be even harder right now for him to gank.
Now fighting as well with the level 6, bullying Satorius out of lane, continuing to send the CS advantage. Broxah with the confidence to invade means Wisdom can't even enter his own jungle, but he's going to try anyway.
And we saw that in game 1. Broxah was much more present with his team. 43% team jungle proximity. 43% of the time he was interacting on that Nidalee, trying to siege, trying to poke. Wisdom was farming up, and now Wisdom has to farm up again, but Broxah's head in level. Satorius.
Satorius was stepping forward too far again. I mean, another kill for Broxah. Wisdom, I don't think you can take the 1v1. Oh, NaeHyun's here, though. He has a chance. Stealth up. Double kill. Dies to the Krugs. Broxah, no, not quite. Yeah, shut down.
Yeah, he's gone.
That was the worst set of circumstances that Wisdom ever could have walked into.
So Origen, do you look at the silver lining? Because Satorius was looking for Rengar. Technically, he found him. Problem was he found him a little bit too early.
Yeah, he's found him twice now.
He went looking for Rengar in a brush, and he found him. He died for it. And he's tilting. He must be. Like, why else would you approach that brush so early when you have a Kha'Zix?
I mean, hungry for blood, desperate to find an advantage back. He doesn't want to play another game where they just have to watch the lead fall away from them, where they have to watch themselves bleed out and lose yet another series.
And interestingly enough, there was an outplay opportunity. If you body slam forward to that brush and you expect the Rengar to leap out, you will cancel most of his damage, and then Kha'Zix can follow up. The problem is you need to time that extremely well. And it's also bold, because if he then doesn't leap, you're screwed. Because you body slam down and you're in front of the Rengar. So
yeah, you're really relying on a pretty big outplay.
Yeah, but isn't that the story of Origen right now?
I mean, it's sad, but probably fair. Bot lane remains even.
Yeah, but the better base comes to, I think, Fnatic, because they eventually push out that wave, so it should bounce back. Although it should be a full reset in bottom lane. Tabzz and Hiiva will be there much faster.
Interesting itemization coming out as well from Rekkles. Gets the tier 2 boots, extra attack speed, the Caulfield's Warhammer. Just wants to push, it looks like.
I mean, he acts like he's a lethality user because he starts with the
longsword.
The longsword 3 pulse, but then he realizes his champion is actually not broken, so he has to actually build items at scale. Sivir has to go for Essence Reaver. So he's like, I'm one of you guys, right? I spike early. And then he goes into shop, is like, no, you don't.
Yeah, don't be baited, solo queue players. No. It's not worth it.
So that's why Sivir goes boots too. Helps you dodge the poke, helps you with mobility and rotations. Broxah right now, face checking Hiiva.
So be careful. Damage goes in, but with Jesiz there to back him up, they're not going to be able to get anything.
Yep. This is good. Jesiz moving from mid to his jungler instead of running straight down bot lane is very important here, because Broxah would have died there if he was alone.
Caps relying on that fancy footwork to dodge out these shock blasts. Poke continues to come in. He's going to have to be careful, but sOAZ is there to back him up.
And this is what a good team has to do. You leverage advantages that you get somewhere, and you help your teammates. So you saw Jesiz walk mid right there. Here we see the replay again.
Keep your eye on Krugs.
Yeah, keep your eye on Kha'Zix, basically. Follow the synergy. Like, Satorius is going in, and Wisdom's walking around. Like, they could have tried to get to that brush the same way together. Then the EQ goes on a Krug that was in full vision from NaeHyun. And then, yeah, we made that wall bigger. This patch. We told no one. Or NaeHyun just... Yeah. Are we getting it at the slow-mo?
Ooh, slow-mo Krugs. Slow-mo Krugs.
Come on,
this is cruel.
He's
just a boy.
Somebody think of the children. Now, that's just savage. I do not support that. That's just mean.
That's cruel. It is cruel, Krepo. I mean, he did it, and he's going to live with that for the rest of his life. Now he has to live with it with a cool angle as well. It's just, okay.
It's rough. All right, let's look at the game again. Let's see what's going on here.
Massive CS lead in the top lane. Jungle is 3-1. Everything else remains relatively even for OG, but there's 2 massive points where they are behind. How do they play now?
Yeah, how do they play is they need to understand what is Fnatic's next move going to be. We saw sOAZ push up top and roam to the mid lane sometimes. That is something he can do, but the main move Fnatic now want to do is leverage the push they have in bot lane. This Sivir wave clear and Jeziz's push combined is just so much pressure. Eventually they want to combine that with Rengar and dive. That's why Wisdom is here. Can they hold it, however? That's the question.
Oh, Alton spots out Wisdom. Doesn't have the vision, but has the ult to give it to him.
They're hard committing. Satorius has no teleport, so Origen need to yield.
Oh, Broxah's on the hunt, pulling back. Can't cleanse, is just going to do so.
Why are they walking in? Walk back, Origen.
Oh, sOAZ, he's just going to go forward, but that's not maybe what he expected. Curtain call comes out. NaeHyun comes over the wall. This could be bad for Fnatic. Shots are going in, but Rekkles is going to body block one. So many low health bars. Wisdom wants to get the reset. Broxah comes and says no. Snap back. Hiiva's caught out. OG pulling back, but in the end, such a close exchange ends in favor of Fnatic.
Yeah, Satorius has teleport now. So Origen actually, look at him. He's teleporting behind Dragon. He wants to make something happen. It was still cool. He canceled it. So I was questioning, why is Origen fighting this so hard? They played it very well for a 4v5. We have to praise them for that. There's more action going on here, but they were in a situation with teleport disadvantage, and they still kind of struggled to stay even. But more importantly, they did keep the tower alive. So in hindsight, it was, if you focus just on the results, a good outcome for Origen. The problem is, it's a very bold choice to make it 4v5 because you just got Rengar ulti down. You see this teleport. You know you don't have teleport yourself. You see Sivir ulti. I have a very hard time not thinking that the right play is just to full on disengage here. Wisdom really overextends. But I guess there's a good zone from NaeHyun onto Caps that allows him to poke sOAZ, but then NaeHyun flashes in, loses a lot of himself there. Wisdom also flashes over the wall here. Good shield from Jesiz as well, keeping sOAZ alive.
Nice use of the ball as well, coming in from Caps, catching Hiiva just on the edge there, forgetting about it in the heat of the fight, and it's a big...
Jesiz... Yeah.
Yep. It's gonna happen. Interesting too, I mean, Satorius had ultimate on the top side of the map. He had flash body slam.
It was too late. He didn't have vision and he didn't know if he could actually reach somebody, because if he goes in, flashes, and sOAZ gets a twisted advanced dodge, then Satorius just dies and he trades up his teleport. The problem is he actually used his teleport. So now the teleport advantage is gone.
Not only that, sOAZ is going to be up, well actually at about the same time.
Slightly sooner again. Yeah. The same deficit, the same difference that made this entire play happen, right?
But once again, it's a story of small advantages turning into something much larger. Right now, it's 1K for Fnatic, but no towers have dropped on either side.
They're looking to mimic the same play again here. Broxah and Caps now need to work as a roaming unit. The roam squad down bot lane. Broxah ults again.
Looks like he may have been spotted on the Scuttle Crab. They'll know he's going.
Yeah, Tabzz yields the turret, and it's his only ultimate. It just allows you to take down the first turret, and now Fnatic can start systematically taking control of Origen's jungle.
Trying to secure the blue buff for now. Wisdom hungry to get something back after the earlier misplays, but I don't think he's going to get the opportunity here. Has Smite. Okay. Curtain call comes in. This may be an overextend. They're going to need to body block for Broxah. Rekkles moving forward. Shot goes in. Spell shield in the end. Saves
spell shield for the 4-shot. That's good. Inside track on the mid lane right now. You see Origen trying to fight back, but they have a very hard comp to play, especially from behind.
NaeHyun doing what he can to hold, but he doesn't have the line while you clear the virus. Just that big burst to try to clear out the creep wave once it's grouped.
Yeah, Cap's trying to move up the ball before the wave gets there for zone. Potentially not allow Origen to wave clear, but then there's the flank from Wisdom. So the map's looking for a reset. Probably some gold in the inventories as well. And there's early spikes here on Origen. 2 Ghost Blades finished, while Rekkles is still obviously looking for scaling.
And this is a good spot right now for Fnatic to be in. Coming in, 2K gold lead. This is where they wanted to be in the early game, but this is not what OG needed. 2 kills for NaeHyun, though, is a good point. The lethality coming in could be huge. We saw the burst damage on the back end of that team fight. It looked good. But is it going to be enough?
Yeah, we'll have to see. It all depends on what Fnatic does next. How well can Fnatic assist Jesiz in getting deep vision? Failed blue buff handoff is obviously going to make that a little harder. Caps right now returning to mid. he's fine farming, but it limits the amount of pressure he can put. Now sOAZ is being ganked. As a Maokai 1v2, let's see how well he does.
Pulling back. Isolated damage coming in from the claws. He's slowly getting burned down. I don't think there's much of a chance to come out, but he's buying time. Rengar's on the way. What can Broxah do? Gets a little bit of a slow. Wisdom gonna hop to safety. Nice disengage.
Yeah, really good disengage there. sOAZ overplaying his hand. His flash was almost up. Broxah obviously attacks his lane now, but that's a good little tidbit of gold here for Origen. They just need to be able to farm the bot lane at the same time.
We'll start to balance out the farm differential between these two, but we have to set our sights on the bottom side of the map where Jesiz is clearing out the vision.
Yeah, he used all his 3 wards, so he should just go back to base ASAP, get more vision. Because that is the way to go, because his vision got denied by control wards. Essentially, he's useless. They don't need him to push. He wants experience, but
yeah,
they could set up for the dragon.
It's a tough spot to be in. Good news is that it is the Mountain Drake. They can't secure it. It makes the Barons easier. It's not the Clouds that we saw last game, so RNG a little bit in their favor.
But it makes you wonder, your jungler's clearing top wave. Like, should you stay here? Like, what are you essentially accomplishing, right? Just base for vision, I think, is a good way to accelerate the game.
In the past, we have been critical. We've seen a ton of time spent together from Broxah and Jesiz, from Jesiz and Amazing, but not always on the same page. And maybe that could have been something greater if he had been on the top side as well.
And that is not necessarily his fault. The main responsibility in the end lies with him, but if the entire team is kind of saying stay around, do dragon, and then they notice that the jungle is topside, they're slowed down, right? You need to pre-plan your communication and your objectives a minute. Because now there's vision control from Origen in this area. Fnatic still haven't gotten access to the dragon. They sent their top laner back to top. Satorius is the one peeling off. There's teleport. You're not going to tell me that in this time, this lulu can't have based, came back with 3 wards and started contesting the vision to speed up the game. Because when you have a 2,000 gold lead, you should naturally be progressing forward.
Not seeing that progression, though. Scuttlecrab is up for OG. They are going to know if Fnatic try to get it. No cheeky blast cone available so that they can sneak it away. Not that they really need to force it this early in the game.
Yeah. So they push up bot wave. It's a good systematic approach, even if you have no vision. Push lanes first, objective second. It's happening with knowledge from Origen, though. If they would want to pull the trigger, technically they could.
Curtain Call is up and available for Jhin. NaeHyun relatively low in the mana pool, about 50%. Fnatic get it in the end. There's no contestation for Origen.
Yeah. And it's obviously an opinion, right? I don't think I'm 100% like law and order when it comes to just bases here, because it's just a thing you can start tracking for a lot of supports in the league, and you can look at efficiency and how map control really comes from freaking basing for warding.
Doesn't base there, but doesn't cost them anything in the end.
No, they get the objective.
The dragon.
The only thing you could debate is opportunity cost. Could have gotten more, potentially. Is that a trade-off for safety and just comfort? Maybe.
Potentially an option. Wisdom running back to his side of the map. Has upgraded the spines as well as the claws.
Jumped over the wall. Progression. And now he's taking revenge.
You're a cruel man, Krepo.
He's taking revenge on the Krugs. It's like,
get him.
Try and fight me now that I'm full health, Krugs.
Taking him down. It's a little extreme.
But wait, there's more. If you kill your Krug right now, 2 more will take its place.
Ooh. Of course, OG a little bit behind on swapping their lanes.
Swapping?
Swapping. I really struggled there.
All right, Sean Connery.
Swapping. I'm not.
They're swapping the top lane to the bot lane right now.
Swapping to the top side. All right. We're all struggling a little bit, Krepo. We're
waiting with bated breath, as QuickShot would say.
I love that phrase.
We're waiting for something to happen. We are patiently waiting for this game to explode.
Ooh.
And it's not 50.
Well, there's the Rengar ultimate coming out. He even knows what's going on, has the eyes above him.
Fnatic actually don't have the information. If they knew how far away Kha'Zix and Jayce was, I think they would have pulled the trigger right here.
Broxah waiting in the bush. Wants to go forward. Pop goes Hiiva. In goes Broxah. Out goes Broxah. Fnatic have to be careful, though. No one there to body block for Caps. He's trying to sidestep. Makes it out of the range. Nice moves, but Wisdom's on the front line. He gets polymorphed. Broxah wants to do the damage. He gets popped.
Satorius is walking right now. So in that entire fight, he had teleport, and he just walked to mid lane to get Caps right now.
Well, Caps, flash forward, body slam, old school combo, goes in, gets him in the end.
Gets him in the end there. So flash used, Caps overextending.
And this is good. This is once again OG finding opportunities. Satorius moving forward. Here comes NaeHyun as well. I don't know if they want to go for the tower dive here, but I could be wrong. They might be able to pull it off. Yeah, not going to get it.
Hiiva actually, all joking aside, absorbed so many cooldowns there. So it allowed Origen to fight back. I'm not going to say that that's his intention with every death, but he's definitely... He's willing to take the leap. Imagine if you just went 0-10. Would you face take that rush? No, but Hiiva would, because Hiiva is a team player. Look at him. Broxah burns flash. Caps has no ulti. Suddenly Tabzz can unleash. Poke is easy to land. They're fighting 4v5, and they're trading even because they punish Broxah here, and NaeHyun gets Wisdom a kill right here. And essentially that's a 2-for-1 trade, all because Hiiva, he did it.
You heard it here, folks. Hiiva for president.
Yep, he's a team player.
Bring it up.
I mean, he can't be much worse.
Ooh. Well, yeah, fair.
Let's not delve into that one. Yep.
Once again, however, the map resets. 2K remaining to be the lead for Fnatic. They could have gotten more, but a bit of a fumble. Bit of team playing from Hiiva.
Bit of team play. Can they follow up though? Can Origen start fighting back? Because again, their comp is centered around picks. If you look at Jayce and gragas, gragas is a good disruptor in teamfights if you have a teamfight comp, but this is definitely not the greatest teamfight comp from Origen. They really want to find lone targets. Jayce is extremely good in 1v1 duels if he can get the jump. Kha'Zix the same way. Whereas Fnatic, they thrive when they have multiple members around them. They enable each other. Orianna can enable his Rengar leap even better. Maokai peeling for somebody is obviously better than dueling. Sivir is the pinnacle of teamfight champ.
Oh, and when we look at the late game, we know it might be Fnatic, but it's not the late game yet, and the fight's already kicked off. Rekkles running forward. Hiiva once again may be the sacrificial lamb. Flash heal. Broxah not going to go for the engage, and Wisdom's just waiting.
Yeah, they get a summoner for the Sivir ulti this time. There was a flank opportunity for Broxah, but he couldn't quite get it. And Satorius, obviously, with that Iceborne Gauntlet, has really good like side lane dueling potential. So he can stick to a target. Tabzz is firing.
Wisdom trying to find a way in. Jesiz just knocking him up, knocking him back. 1Q not enough. Challenging Smite will not close it.
Both supports are the targets of quite some abuse here in these compositions.
Yeah, there's a lot being burned on these guys.
It's a tough day.
I mean, OG burned their cooldowns though, and there is no follow-up. Jesiz does make it out to safety. OG aren't going to lose anything in exchange. Wisdom going to find the fight.
Broxah going low, but he's very strong. Exhaust is needed.
Yeah, I'm just going to cleanse on out of that one. Wisdom. No, that's not what you want. Ooh, runs out. Nice shield coming in from Hiiva.
Or is it?
Nope, he's alive.
He's alive.
Things coming out on him, though.
Origen slowing down the game again. Early lead from Fnatic, but couldn't systematically close. They still have a 3,000 gold lead right now, but it doesn't feel that way exactly. They really need to start working together and start playing for objectives now. Get the vision to support it. Systematically take away every single outplay opportunity from Origen and then take their objectives.
Something we haven't really seen yet this series. Very kind of choked out early game in game one from Fnatic, playing very well, but getting sloppy into the mid game, and they cannot afford to get sloppy again here. But at the same time, I feel like their comp just has the scaling, and Broxah just has the engage. Hiiva once again goes down.
Yeah. And now that is just a mistake right here, because if you look at the vision from Origen, not only do they just pass by that brush, they don't even face check it. They don't even have the intention to ward over that wall when Fnatic is clearly playing for Nashor. There is no Fnatic member present in the top side. They're going for a cheeky Baron here.
Oh, they haven't even killed the ward.
Fnatic pinged it. They pinged the ward being placed. They saw the control ward. They're wondering. sOAZ, they know. I think they know.
There's too many low health bars. NaeHyun, someone's going to have to give their life up. Oh, who's the sapling going to kill? Right now it's Baron. They're going lower. sOAZ, can he get in there? They're going to have to take down Wisdom. He's stealthing up. They're trying to buy time. What can they do? OG, they want to get it. That's a double for sOAZ. It's going lower. Fnatic, get it. Gift wrapped, hand delivered. OG, hand the Baron away.
Yeah, prime delivery right there for Fnatic. They get the Baron buff and a couple of kills. Broxah looking for more.
Oh, it's just too much. Maybe able to cleanse out a little bit of this damage, dodge the force shot as well. That is having your cake, eating it too. OG.
And you know what? I actually don't mind it as much because they placed the control ward over, which obviously triggered an alarm bell on the side of Fnatic. I'm not sure if they waited long enough for the ward to be disabled or if the control ward came out late. That is the only thing that could make this from a okay call to maybe a bad call, but I think you go for it at this point if you're Origen. I'd rather see a team try and do this to get back into the game than not do anything and just let Fnatic walk over them.
Once again, praised OG in the last game. I have to praise them again for making aggressive moves. It doesn't work out.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go back and see if what the timing on that control ward was.
Toggle the vision. Find out momentarily. In the meantime, Fnatic going to take their second Mountain Drake. They already got one Baron. Maybe they're going to look to get another one as we move later. This will be an opportunity for them to regroup. Health back up, items bought, and then push down with Baron buff. But we'll take a look at the replay here on your screen.
So they did it perfect. Like, they placed a good total wall, waited 2 seconds, then they used the blast cone to go over. So in that sense, it was definitely a worthy attempt here from Origen. You can ask yourself, why was sOAZ allowed to walk in, and why did Satorius not stop him from getting there? The second a Maokai starts walking to Nashor, you have to know that your plan is foiled. This guy already knows you're on Nashor. He just wants to know how low you are and how low the Baron is. So if Satorius actually spends time peeling sOAZ away, this could have been a great call for Origen.
Oh, Jesiz! Yeah, surprise, surprise. There's the pick that they were waiting for. TP comes in. Broxah ready to re-engage. NaeHyun potentially in trouble. Does get stunned up. May go down. Ticking. Yeah, Rekkles going to grab another one.
Yeah, Rekkles is very consistent in this series. Didn't die the first game. Not a single death so far, and it looks like it's going to stay that way. Consistent damage output as this AD carry in the team fights.
Meanwhile, Caps on the top side, pushing in, going to grab a tower for himself. The rest of the members of Fnatic there to break the bottom lane.
I mean, it's spilling over at this point. Origen went for a very risky play, maybe 70-30, 80-20, and they drew on the lower end of outcomes.
sOAZ locked up. They're not even concerned about the damage output here. 10k gold lead, double Mountain Drake. Caps gonna take tower damage. Nice flash out.
Would love to see the preemptive body slam there, you know, as you throw out the ulti, just do the math in your head.
Throw up the gif from The Hangover. Let it go by in front of you. The perfect equation.
Perfect equation.
Satorius, that was your time. Didn't work out.
Throw cask, body slam sideways. Put the escape cask down. Yep. And then he flashes. Still worth.
Still definitely worth. And really, sadly at this point, I don't think there's anything left for OG. I think they gambled it all on the Baron and they lost. And they can continue to gamble on these death bushes, and maybe if they get enough, they can claw back in. But I don't think Fnatic are going to keep checking them.
And if you're Fnatic, how do you go into next week, right? There's an IAM Katowice week. They're not going. They said they were going to practice really hard. How do you feel, I wonder? Because this series defines a lot about your mentality going into that week. And I don't think if you're Fnatic, you could be that happy. Then again, they are getting the win.
Well, moving forward, OG running. sOAZ ever present on the front lines, ready to go in, but no one pulling the trigger yet.
This is good. Just get the disengage, go to the next lane. That's all Fnatic have to do. They can wait for next Nashor too. Super easy for them to close out right now because their strength lies in numbers. Origen want to keep the map open, but they simply don't have the dueling prowess or potential anymore to do that. So they're completely being controlled by Fnatic's map movements.
Just, once again, commanding performance. OG always give us 1 or 2 things to look at every game that make us wonder, can they do it?
And they obviously had a 7.2k Baron power play here. That's the dream. The best Baron power plays happen when the enemy's doing it, you take it, and then
kill them all.
You slaughter them.
And just think, if sOAZ had gotten that double kill after the Baron, how much bigger that Baron power play would have been.
Yeah, it's a couple more gold.
Fnatic setting, starting to look to set some records here.
Yeah.
With Baron power plays.
Origen setting up the brush camp. Look at the respect. That's what you need to do. Don't do what you did last game, Fnatic. Don't get overzealous. Respect the brushes. Throw out your skill shots. Make sure they're out there. Put up the radar. And if they're camping, this is to combat a lane camp, for example. If they're actually in the lane waiting for you, this Rengar ulti will punish them. Now you just herd the cattle into the base.
This is a grim. Happy to see it from Fnatic. Happy to see the slow, systematic close, but it is hard to watch a team be taken down like this. Curtain call comes out, buys a bit of time, but now the poke behind doesn't hit.
Watch Satorius. He's actually going to engage on Rekkles and Caps right now.
Are they going to try to fight this? Moving forward, does land up in on 2, but they move to the side. Wisdom could get taken out. Rekkles is popping off in this fight. Not enough damage quite yet, but Rekkles takes a lot in return. Cooldowns burn. No one's fall yet on either side.
It's a good move from Origen to try and stop it here. Fnatic, I don't think they were very aware of Satorius kind of coming up behind them. Problem was that the kind of fight got dragged forward, kind of sucked into Origen's base, so it was very hard for Satorius himself to find a good opportunity to go in, and now it's sOAZ going
to go in. Ball delivery system. NaeHyun taken down. He goes up. Will he go down? sOAZ not even dead yet. GA to prop back up. Wisdom, low health, can't do anything. Fnatic are just going to break another inhibitor.
Yeah, and they're looking to finish here. They're pinging Nexus turrets because they have that massive top wave. They reconsider to finish the inhib. Looking at top Nexus turret.
Moving forward, will OG look for another fight? Wisdom coming in, he's got full health now. There's some low health bars. Not level 16, doesn't have the wings, can't find the resets. Satorius wants to go in.
Bold positioning by Rekkles. Now they find Satorius.
A little too far forward. Rekkles now on a killing spree. Broxah goes in. That's big, but not enough. Now moving for more, now looking for more. Fnatic just trying to get some icing on the proverbial cake here as they're ready to close out. They're ready to make it a clean sweep. It's going to be a 2-0 as OG go down once again in this match versus Fnatic.
Fnatic, they came for a victory, they came for a 2-0, they got it, but there was still room for Origen to fight back, especially in game 1. And especially the draft, again, this Snowball Nidalee comp versus Heavy CC, it is very difficult to play and play well. Fnatic over time kept re-engaging without their core ultimates available, and they allowed Origen to sneak back in the game. This time, it was much cleaner, a much more radical and rash attempt, mostly because Origen had a inferior draft compared to game 1. I like the Baron call still. I think it's okay if teams go for that. I don't mind seeing it backfire, rather than what some other teams are doing where they just roll over.
And good to see OG take steps to fight back. And at the end of the day, Fnatic, maybe they experiment a little bit more in game 1, but come in clean for the most part in game 2. And OG, this is just another one, unfortunately, on the list. We'll see how they progress as we go through the rest of the season. But for now, I think it's Fnatic's progression we have to focus on, because what is next for this team?
But if they want to challenge the top 2 in their group, they will need to practice hard during the IM Katowice week. Because we're now at the halfway point in the spring split. Week 5, there's 10 weeks in total, and they need to make something happen.
Well, and you think about it too. Unicorns of Love, H2K, G2, they're all going to be at the tournament. So who are you going to practice again? How are you going to find that top practice?
The ping from Katowice isn't that high, Drakos. And if you're in the tournament, you probably want to scrim teams that are not in the tournament. So in that sense, I think they find somebody to scrim.
Well, come on, all right.
There's also other teams in Katowice visiting.
I'll be honest, I didn't realize that pro teams work that hard, that during one tournament you'd be scrimming for another league. I didn't think that was a thing.
No, it's very, I thought that too initially. It's like, all these guys are going to a tournament here, an international tournament. How can they scrim?
Oh wait, it's just like...
It's like literally right next to Germany. So I think they're fine in that regard. Other than that, there's other LCS teams here still, and we've seen that it's not bound to just within intra-group scrims or intergroup scrims. Like, teams are basically playing each other all the time. And worst case, you play solo queue, you develop new picks, you play duo queue, you work on communication systems, you can do exercises outside of the game. Because a lot of these issues are not purely game related.
Very true. But one man who kind of brought out new picks in the past, but kept it classic for this series on 2 traditional AD carries, the man we're going to call player of the series, it is going to be Rekkles coming in. I gotta say, solid performances on the Sivir, especially in those final team fights. Very aggressive positioning, as you said, but confidence in his ability to hit that spell at the end. Right time.
Yeah, that's the story.
And of course,
very aggressive.
Very far ahead.
Very aggressive once you're winning is what a lot of people say about him, but he went 13-0-9 in a game where his team was struggling at points. I think he cleaned up well, and he was part of the little brush camp at the start of the first game that got the massive lead for Fnatic. So definitely worthy of player of the game.
Once again, huge snowball. All came from that. All came from a single mistake. And I mean, I think they can be proud of that. But once again, I'd love to watch that game again without that lead. You know, see how it transpires.
I definitely would like to see what happened. And also, I don't think you can expect to make that play and get that much of a payout. That was literally everything done wrong by Origen. It's this bot lane ranting, but like, not freezing there, I can accept. Trying to push out, I can accept. Using all your abilities on a wave when you're not 100% sure these guys are gone, and then playing that close to the brush as well, you can clear that wave with abilities much farther away than what happened in game 1.
Well, we'll have to see if that continues to be the trend, if OG adapt in the future. But for now, and for more on the Week 5 series from Fnatic, let's head over to Pyra, who's sitting